Well, yesterday, President Muhammadu Buhari returned from the Expo 2020 in Dubai, an event aimed at creating an environment for Nigerians to join over 190 countries to forge true and meaningful partnerships. President Buhari arrived at the country via the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport afternoon of yesterday after a 4-day official trip to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. The president will leave the shores of the country on Wednesday, arrive the Arab nation on Thursday, where he met with prospective investors. Tonight, we hope to find out some of the outcomes of that trip and the benefits for Nigeria. I'm being joined tonight by the president's media advisor, Mr. Femi Adesina, who joins us from Abuja City. Thank you so much, Mr. Adesina, for coming tonight to speak to us. I guess we should find out before we dig deeper into the Dubai trip and some of the gains from that trip. First and foremost, the stories around the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. We understand there was a letter transmitted from the president to INEC, and there was a response. Can you tell us anything about that?
Well, what I'll just say about that is that it is work in progress on the Electoral Act. The president still has a number of days within which he should sign that bill into law, and rest assured that the president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time. So it is work in progress. There is still a window of a number of days, and the president will do what is best for Nigeria at the right time.
So what can you tell us about the communication between the president and INEC? What can you tell us about that?
No, rather it is from INEC you will get that, because it went direct from the president to INEC. So from INEC end you can get some feedbacks on that.
But I mean, the question here, Mr. Adesina, is that President tried to make some inquiries from INEC, and there was a response from INEC. And so since it came first from the presidency to INEC, what can you tell us about that exchange? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and what I'm telling you is that that does not necessarily go through the media department of the presidency. If it didn't go through the media department, then I would not have more to tell you than what is already in the public domain, because it's a transmission direct from the president to INEC.
So what can you tell us? I mean, you assume that it's in the public domain, so what can you tell us?
What I can tell Nigerians is that the president is consulting widely, and he will do what is best for the country in respect of that Electoral Act.
So, I mean, when you say what is best, so the question on everybody's lips is, what was in the public domain? You're still not able to tell us. I mean, you assume that a lot of Nigerians know what is in the public domain. What can you tell us about what is in the public domain? Can you confirm to us what transpired between the communication?
You have always treated these issues, particularly direct primaries, indirect primaries, and other issues in that proposed law. That's why I said it's in the public domain. What are the germane, the fundamental issues in that proposed law? They're already in the public domain. The issue now is, will the president assent? And I've told you, the president is consulting. He has to consult with all the stakeholders and then arrive at a position that is best for the country. That consultation is going on. Part of that consultation was the communication with INEC, and there are other stakeholders that have also been reached for positions and counsel on that. At the end of the day, Mr. President is going to aggregate all of it, and what is best for the country is what he will do. We can't preempt him, but he will do it within the appropriate time.
So you said he's consulting widely. Who are the other people that you think he's consulting with that we need to know?
If it's supposed to be in the public domain, it will be made public. But I know that he's consulting widely.
Has he sought the advice of the Attorney General?
There are certain things that never get done without the counsel of the Attorney General. You can be sure of that. And this falls right within the purview of the Attorney General. So you can be sure that every bit of the way, the Attorney General is carried along.
There are a lot of stories in the villa, but being a senior journalist before you started speaking for government, what can you tell us? The villa, would the president sign it?
That's a hefty question, Jim. Will the president sign it? What I'll tell you is that the president is there to ensure that things go well in the country. The president is there to ensure that processes are enhanced, and the new law will enhance our electoral processes in different ways. So the president will look at that critically, and he will do the best for the country. That's all I can tell you.
Because the reason why I'm particular, and a lot of people are particular about this bill, is that they feel that this is the president that has promised that he will not interfere with the workings of INEC, and that he will do everything to leave a legacy of good elections in Nigeria, as he meant, because he was privileged to have gotten into an election on several occasions, that those elections are really written with a lot of anomalies, and he's gone to court to challenge those elections. But he's privileged to have had an election where a sitting president considered defeat, and that's how he became a president. So the question is whether or not that promise of wanting to leave a lasting legacy on a credible election, and by which means is the issue of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. So a lot of people will may be skeptical, because the president has a history of not assenting to a similar bill, and that's perhaps a reason why some people are not comfortable and hoping that 2 weeks now gone, the president has not said anything. So that's why the reason why some people may be anxious, and that's why I'm asking the question for a president who had refused assent to one Electoral Act Amendment bill. The fear is there, Mr. Adesina, isn't it?
Well, you may not know the whole story of the earlier one that was not assented to. But I can tell you with all confidence that it was indeed the best for the country. You will see that the same set of people that seemed to be piling pressure on the president to sign the former one are also piling pressure now. It could be because maybe they had some sinister motives, they had some hidden hostile things in that previous law, which would have served their purpose. That one was not signed for legitimate reasons. But this one, there's enough time. You know, one of the reasons adduced for not signing that previous one was because of the short time between the time it was brought and the election. And there was a minimum time within which it should be brought. Now this one has been brought in good time. All I'll say is that as long as it will serve Nigeria well, as long as it will serve our democracy well, serve our electoral processes well, the president will do what is needful.
If the president is going to sign or not sign is in the realm of conjecture. The decision is solely on the president to do what he thinks will be good for himself. But as someone who worked closely with him, do you think that if he does not sign, it will dent his image in terms of democratic value, or the promise that is made of leaving a legacy of good elections in Nigeria?
In terms of his image for democratic value, that image is made already. It is made already. It's almost cast in concrete. You will find that one election after the other, has been better under President Buhari. Under President Buhari, the governing party has lost states, has lost legislative seats, has lost so many elections. It didn't used to be. It used to be that whichever party was in power won all elections before by hook or crook, not under President Buhari. So his reputation as somebody who wants to live clean elections for Nigeria has already been made. Whether the Electoral Act is signed or not does not detract from that reputation.
So even if he doesn't sign this, you don't think that it will dent his image on democratic values at all?
Is in the realm of conjecture. We don't begin to talk of if he doesn't sign because we have not got to that bridge. We don't cross our bridges till we get there.
I would have made reference to, so that it doesn't look like I'm personalizing your person into this job. I probably would have made reference to one of the articles you wrote for the Sun newspaper some years back about democratic values and the rule of law and all of that, which, of course, will be called to question tonight. But don't let me drag you too far and too personally on this matter. But if you have the opportunity to advise the president on this bill, what would you say to him?
Yes, I'll just say, please, Mr. President, I know that you love this country. I know that you want the best for her, and you have always done the best for the country. On this bill, do the very best for Nigeria.
And what would the best mean, from your own point of view? The best could be not assenting it.
No, I didn't get that.
You said you should do the best, and what would best mean? What is the best in your own terminology? In your own
best would mean look at all the clauses in the bill, and if they will serve our electoral processes well, please sign. But if there are clauses that will be deleterious to our electoral fortunes, then let it be looked at again.
All right, we are hopeful that we'll hear good news and see how we can further our electoral values in this country. So let me take you to Dubai. You were in Dubai, and I'm very sure that you enjoyed yourself when you were on that trip with the president. Dubai is a beautiful place to visit, and 50 years ago, Dubai wasn't anything like this. In fact, for those who remember history, Nigeria was a part of the history of Dubai in some ways for some of the partnerships that this country had done with the United Arab Emirates. But what comes out to President Buhari on that trip, and what would you say is the biggest lesson or the benefits that accrues to Nigeria from that trip?
Well, it's an investment trip. And like I have said a couple of times on your show, investment trips by their nature are not trading affairs. Trading affairs are when you take goods worth 100 million to the market, you then come back, you say, how much did I sell today? I sold good worth 60 million, 70 million. Those are trading affairs. That's not how investment trips work. This was an investment trip. What do you do on investment trips? You meet potential investors and you unfold what your country has to offer. And in this case, Mr. President has been talking of infrastructural drive. He has talking about policies. He has talking about ease of doing business. He has been talking about things that will attract investors to Nigeria. And he has told them that Nigeria remains the most viable market in Africa. And he also charged them, keep an open mind. In other words, not everything that you hear reflects the way Nigeria is. Keep an open mind. Check yourself, come and see, and you will find out that you can do good business here.
The president told that those who he spoke with, and he said at that forum, that Nigeria is Africa's most viable investment destination. Is that based on data, or based on projection, or based on hope, or he just wanted to sell Nigeria to the rest of the world at that forum?
It's well proven, well proven, because you look at what Nigeria is offering and compare with what other African countries can offer, you will know that Nigeria is the most viable investment destination in Africa. The president talked about areas in which they can come and invest, in mining, in agriculture, in food business, many areas. And he also told them that Nigeria has human resource, a market of 200 million people. Oh, you can't wave that aside. How many countries in Africa have that potentials, that marketing potentials? So Nigeria is a viable investment destination in Africa. The president was right when he said that.
I was asking that question because when I'm not sure that was based on unavailable data about investment destinations on the continent. Is it?
Well, if you have superior data, then you have to come forward with it. But what we know is that that is veritable. It's veritable data. But if you have anything superior, then you have to come forward with it.
So I will give you the, there's a ranking that came out, which by the Rand Merchant Bank, a latest ranking of top 10 investment destinations. Nigeria is nowhere to be found compared to about less than 10 years ago that Nigeria ranked about 6th or 5th in that ranking. But Nigeria is not even in the top 10. Egypt, for example, ranked about 6th or 7th on that ranking. But Egypt is the #1 investment destination in Africa based on the RMB ranking. So that's the reason why I was asking, was the president talking to those people at that forum based on the available data? It was just projection, because the data show that Nigeria does not even rank in one of the top 10 investment destinations on the continent.
Well, we don't know the indices used for that ranking. Unless we are privy to the indices, then we can't say we agree with it completely. But in terms of natural resource, human resource, market potential, Nigeria ranks highest in Africa.
What data are you quoting, or what data are you referring to, Mr. Adesina? Because I've given you a source now.
Available.
When you say available data, is it our own, is it the Nigerian data, or the data that assesses all the countries of the continent, or which data are you making reference to?
I told you. You read up that report. And I said we didn't know what the indices were, unless we knew what the indices were. For instance, if one index was security, we know that now it will be an issue because Nigeria has stiff security challenges. So if what they used to arrive at that was security, we know that Nigeria will rank low. But then, security is something that will be solved. That was why the president told the would-be investors in Dubai, he said, keep an open mind about Nigeria. Keep an open mind about Nigeria. Because these security challenges will be surmounted and we will get there. So that's why I said we need to know what indices were used for that ranking that you read out.
Because if you're making, it's good that you realized some of the issues bedeviling the possibility of investment in Nigeria. If anyone is looking at investment in Nigeria, we want people to come. We want FDI. We want people to look in the direction of Nigeria. But the question is whether or not the government or the Buhari government is doing the right thing in that direction. In the last 3 or 4 years, it is in the negative about the possibility of coming to Nigeria to invest. And it calls to question the capacity of this government to to make people come. Beyond the rhetorics or beyond the preaching outside of this country, the question is, what is this government doing that is right in making people come to invest in this country?
Well, it's just because You are thinking like a journalist, and you know that's one thing with us journalists. All we are interested in is our work of informing the public, breaking the news and all that. If you were thinking like an investor, you would know that it is in challenged areas that it is best to invest. Because when you invest in challenged areas, you go in at very attractive rates because of those challenges. And when those challenges are surmounted, you then make a lot of return, quick returns on your investment. If you imagine those who invested in telecoms. At a time, Nigeria was not even an attractive destination. We were under military rule. Do you know the returns they receive today, 22 years after? Because they are hardcore investors. They could see beyond the facade. So they knew that this was a place to go into because they saw into the future. Well, you see like a journalist, like I probably also see. But if you begin to see with the eyes of an investor, you will know that it is in times of challenges that you need to go into certain places to invest.
Well, the eyes of the journalist is the eye of the average Nigerian, because we relate with the average Nigerian and we see what they see and we try to bring it to the government to call them to order in whatever government is doing. But Mr. Adesina, I'm actually making reference to data. Data helps to drive development, because without data, you cannot plan. And I'm saying in the last 4 or 5 years, for example, South Africa dropped on that ladder. Egypt has done something that made them to rise about 4 or 5 places to the very zenith of the investment destination. So the question is that, can you tell Nigerians tonight what is being done differently? How Nigeria dropped so rapidly off the investment destination ranking in Africa, and we cannot even boast in being a part of the top 10. We are the largest in the nation, on the continent. Nigeria has the largest population. Nigeria has enormous potentials. But then, if we are not able to aggregate those potentials, it means nothing. So the question is, Mr. Adesina, beyond the president telling the world that Nigeria is good and ripe for investment, what is this government doing to change the narrative? The data is in the negative. Let's follow the data, Mr. Adesina. Data is sacrosanct.
Oh,
data is sacred.
Really, data is sacrosanct. On this same program, when I appeared here, you have told me that data are just figures if it doesn't touch the lives of the people. So you can't reprobate and approbate at the same time.
No. I just said, I made reference to the ranking. And I said that it is important for us
your point. Let me make my own.
Go ahead, Mr. Adesina.
What I am telling you, that all the things that conduce to investment, that redound to investment, have been done in Nigeria. One is infrastructure. Infrastructure will promote investment. It will enhance investment. Another one, the relevant laws. Nigeria has been changing all its laws, ease of doing business. You know how many steps we improved in the ease of doing business. Policies that are meant to attract investors, tax holidays, a lot of things. Look at the PIA. You will see a potpourri of things for potential investors in it. And then our market is a heavy strength. A bucket of 200 million is heavy for any investor. Many other things that will be very good for investors. Nigeria has it in abundance. So that is why the president has been marketing the country. From Riyadh, an investment forum, then to Paris, also investment, then to Durban, also investment, then to Dubai. And I tell you some more.
When you said earlier, Mr. Adesina,
the president will continue to market Nigeria.
When you said, to wrap up now, when you said that it's in the tough places that investment opportunities open up, are you saying that the security challenge is an advantage for investment?
What I'm saying is that investors see beyond now. They see beyond now. They will know that, yes, Nigeria has security challenges, But is that all there is to Nigeria? By no means. By no means. That's not all there is to Nigeria. There are other things to Nigeria which attract investment. They will look at those things and they will come in despite the security challenges, knowing that the challenges will not last forever.
So on a final note and a quick one, was the president impressed by what he saw in Dubai? And if in 50 years, Dubai has been transformed, does that inspire him at all to do anything different in Nigeria?
We were in Dubai in 2016. We were there in 2019. To the best of my recollection, this was our third trip to Dubai. So it wouldn't be strange or news to Mr. President. He's quite familiar with that country. But everybody knows the story of Dubai. We saw footage of how the country was 50 years ago. Incidentally, Dubai just turned 50, I think, on December 2nd. So it was not the first time that Mr. President was visiting. So he knows how far Dubai has come.
So the question is that, does the story of Dubai inspire him? As a leader of Nigeria, does the story inspire him?
It will inspire anybody.
But what lesson has he taken away from it? Is he taking any lesson away as a leader of this country in transforming this country?
It's not just a question of taking away lessons. It is a question of continuing to do the positive things we are doing so that our country also can be in good state, just like Dubai and the United Arab Emirates in general.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adesina. I hope that the next time that we speak, you might get the data. I may share with you so that this data that I have, which everybody has anyways, I may share with you. Nigeria is not doing well on the investigation.
I also work with the relevant agencies in government who can make the data available.
Thank you so much for talking to us. I really appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.